A quick mock draft here, just projecting the Kansas City Chiefs 2025 NFL mock draft. We're going through all 32 teams here in the Draft Rankings Show. I'm Cody Carpentier, joined every single morning at 7 a.m. Eastern Time on podcast and on YouTube. If you're on the Player Profiler feed, it's 7 p.m. Join the Draft Rankings podcast feed for 7 a.m. Here we go. Kansas City Chiefs, full 7-round NFL mock draft. We're in the middle of free agency. Let's tap in and let's lock in to the Kansas City Chiefs 7-round mock draft. Here we go. The Chiefs, as we currently sit, pick 31, 63, 66, 95, 132, 228, and 256. So that gives us 7 selections. All right, let's go ahead and start this draft off. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see the screen. You can see kind of what this thing looks like. And so we'll jump in here. It looks like pick 31 was Omarion Hampton, or pick 32, Omarion Hampton to the Bills. Gray Zabel goes to the Commanders. We see Walter Nolan go to Detroit at pick 28, Matthew Golden at pick 27, just to give you a little bit of an example of what's happening here for the Kansas City Chiefs. All right, so through free agency, obviously we've seen multitude of things come down from the Chiefs side of things, whether it was the Xavier Worthy situation. Sounds like he's going to be scot-free. Hollywood Brown re-signs. Pat Mahomes, Chris Jones convert their contracts. They bring in Robert Tonyan to play tight end. They bring in Elijah Mitchell at running back. They're able to sign Trey Smith to a franchise tag, bring in Jalen Moore, give Nick Bolton an extension. A lot of movement for the Chiefs this offseason here. Christian Fulton, cornerback, former top draft pick for the Tennessee Titans. He comes over to the Kansas City Chiefs, 2 years, $20 million. So let's jump into it. Some of the spots that the Chiefs need some help. D-line, tight end. Technically tight end. I don't know why I said tight end out the rip there. I meant to say D-line, but tight end's also, I guess, a spot we could think of of Kansas City going out and getting somebody. But they did draft Jared Wiley last year in the 4th round, and they did just sign Robert Tonyan with Noah Gray. So I think that the tight end room's probably fine for the Chiefs here. So I'll say D-line. I'll say tackle. They just signed Jalen Moore to play left tackle. They brought in Sumatia last year. They lose Joe Tooney, and they have Jawan Taylor at right tackle. I think tackle's an option. D-line's an option of many for the Kansas City Chiefs. So let's make the pick here. Let's look at what's best available for the Chiefs. Colston Loveland here at pick 32. I don't think that's realistic, but he's available. Nick Scorton, the edge from the Texas A&M Aggies, is available. Demetrius Knight from South Carolina. Josh Connerly, tackle from Oregon. TJ Sanders from South Carolina. Talik Williams, defensive lineman from Ohio State. Trey Amos, cornerback from Mississippi, is also a name that I think warrants conversation. Let's go look at tackle quick. Ariante Erseri from Minnesota. Donovan Jackson. This is one. Donovan Jackson is going to be a guy. If you ask people right now where Donovan Jackson is going to go, I think you would hear anything between late teens, like 17, 18, 19, all the way to like the mid 40s. So I think Donovan Jackson, a guy that has 34-inch arms, that played guard and tackle this past year when Josh Simmons was hurt. I think Donovan Jackson brings you some versatility as well as ability in year 1 for the Kansas City Chiefs. So I'll go Donovan Jackson here, pick 31 for the Chiefs to play guard or tackle. Pick 63, the Chiefs are up at pick 63 and pick 66 here in round 2 and the beginning of round 3. Running back, peeking its head here with Dylan Sampson and Caleb Johnson from Iowa pushing through. Benjamin Morrison, the ultimate wild card right now at corner. The Chiefs could use cornerback when you look at their depth right now. They obviously just brought over Christian Fulton, who I talked about at the top of the show. They got Joshua Williams, who was a 4th-round pick a couple of years ago. The great Trent McDuffie is also obviously in Kansas City. They brought Shamari Connor in last year or 2 years ago from Virginia Tech. They could use a corner here. When you look at what's available at corner, the first one that jumped off the board obviously is Benjamin Morrison. I don't know why I keep saying obviously, because it's not obvious. Then I don't know what you're paying attention to. Benjamin Morrison from Notre Dame, a guy that got injured this past year and has fallen out of first-round conversations. We are here at pick 63. A guy like this could fall this far. It would not surprise me. So I'm going to take Benjamin Morrison here at great value at pick 63, cornerback from Notre Dame. I think we're going to get an A+ for that one here. All right, let's look next at, I want to look on the defensive line. So Josh Farmer, defensive line from Florida State, Jordan Phillips from Maryland, Deion Walker from Kentucky. I've always loved the Deion Walker, Chris Jones type of comp here, but Josh Farmer for me at pick 66, the second pick in the third round, is the direction we're going to go. We're going to get ourselves a defensive lineman. You look at Josh Farmer right here. His grade on PFF has went down. It went down from his freshman year, went up from his sophomore year. But this is a guy that can play all over defensive line. I like Josh Farmer here, coming from Florida State. Another year. Last year's Braden Fisk. This year's Josh Farmer. It's pick 66 to the Kansas City Chiefs. It's pretty interesting to continue to see a team like the Chiefs and the Eagles continue to get value in the draft. This is a guy that's 6'3", 305 pounds, ran a 5'11" in the 40 at the NFL Combine, had almost a 30-inch vertical, again, 305 pounds. I like Josh Farmer here. And again, it's a guy that some people are conversing in the early part of the second round. You get him here, the second pick in the third. All right, a couple more things for the Kansas City Chiefs. I think you do look at running back. They brought in Elijah Mitchell. They have Pacheco on the roster, Carson Steele. But in a class like this, you really got to find something different. So you got a hard rusher that has been injured and riddled the last couple of years in Isaiah Pacheco. You got Elijah Mitchell, who's made out of glass, but has that dynamic speed. You lose Kareem Hunt, who was kind of proved to be a grinder as the season went on. You have Carson Steele, who could potentially fill that role, but I'm just not quite sold on it. Damian Martinez here. We're in the third round. Feels a little bit high. Devin Neal, right down the street from the Chiefs, ran way slower than we expected. Jaden Blue, a dynamo here, feels redundant with Elijah Mitchell and Isaiah Pacheco. So I'll push off running back for now. Maybe we'll wait till pick 132. That's 37 picks from now. Maybe we'll get a Trevor Etienne from Georgia, or potentially a Jarquez Hunter there. Let's peek at the wide receiver position, see what's fallen to us. Isaiah Bond goes with Xavier Worthy in Kansas City, adding more speed to that room. Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy. You see Juju Smith-Schuster, Mecole Hardman enter free agency. Sky Moore likely cut. This is a high-end recruit, was Isaiah Bond, with high-end speed. Everyone's mad because he ran a 4.39, supposed to run a 4.142, but he ran 24 miles per hour. The only other receiver the last two classes to do that, Xavier Worthy. Let's go Isaiah Bond here, late round 3. A lot of the conversation coming out of the Combine, I talked to some guys, was he's not going to go nearly as early as anybody thinks. So let's go Kansas City Chiefs take Isaiah Bond here, pick 95. Now we go back to that running back position, the middle of the draft, and let's make some hay. Damian Martinez falls. Trevor Etienne is here. I think when I think of like a Kareem Hunt type in this class, I think of someone that can win down by the goal line, that can catch passes out of the backfield, that runs extremely hard. I think Jarquez feels a little redundant with a Pacheco. I'm going to go Trevor Etienne here, late 4th round for the Kansas City Chiefs. I love exactly where this draft is unfolding. We got 2 picks left, pick 228 here in the 7th and pick 256, which is almost Mr. Irrelevant, but not quite. All right, a couple more spots we need to fulfill. We need to get a linebacker here for the Kansas City Chiefs. Smile Munden is here, pick 228, and Kane Medrano, who impressed a lot of people in the NFL Combine. There was no expectation of this guy to blitz through the crowd and be nearly as fast as he was with a 4.46 40 at 6'3", 222 pounds. The athleticism score was 82, which was 4th overall among linebackers. I think Cade Medrano is interesting here for the Kansas City Chiefs. Between him and Smile Munden, I'm going to go Cade Medrano from UCLA to play linebacker for the Kansas City Chiefs. All right, so what have we not hit yet that I think we have left on my list? We got offensive line and Donovan Jackson. We could go edge. Let's go edge here with the last pick of the draft. Colin Oliver from Oklahoma State. That seems like a lad. There's only 4 guys left on this board. Let's check the D line. I like Eric Gregory. He's a D lineman that I think is a little versatile. Man, this is not a great cast of characters here at the defensive line position this late in the board. Look at linebacker one more time, see if these guys are edge players. Teddy Buchanan's interesting from Cal. Tight end. No. Go back to the offensive line. Cooper Mays from Tennessee is available. What if we just look at tackle one more time? I mean, you can never have enough tackles. Carson Vincent. I mean, if you guys have listened to the draft ranking show, you guys know how much I love Carson Vincent. I don't think this guy makes it to the second to last pick in the draft. Let's go Gareth Warren from Lindenwood. Gareth Warren, get you a late round pick here for the Kansas City Chiefs. There we go. There it is. There's the whole draft, if you can see it on the screen right there. Donovan Jackson, Benjamin Morrison, Joshua Farmer, Isaiah Bond, Trevor Etienne, Kane Madrano, and Gareth Warren here for the Kansas Chiefs to give us a C+ for this draft. Love you guys. Appreciate you. Kansas City Chiefs full 7-round mock draft here from the Draft Rankings.